My dad is not a vengeful man. He's a fixer, a builder, a problem solver. But even the most patient man in the world has a breaking point. And when you push a man like that too far, he won't just get angry. He'll get creative. This isn't my story of revenge. It's his. Welcome to Reddit Overheard Stories. Today's account is a masterclass in calculated revenge, told by a son about his father's brilliant and terrifyingly effective solution to a persistent problem. Why parents live in their dream house, a quiet place nestled by a lake just outside of town. It's peaceful, serene, the kind of place you move to escape the chaos of the world. Their property is unique. It stretches across both sides of the quiet country road. The house is on the lake side, and the mailbox, by necessity, is on the other. For 4 years, that mailbox stood as a silent, unassuming sentinel. And for 4 years, it was the target in a one-sided war that IT started subtly. The first time, my dad found the mailbox knocked off its post, lying in the ditch. Probably some kids having a bit of fun, he sighed, and spent the afternoon fixing it, setting the post deeper this time. A few months later, it happened again. Same thing. Splintered wood, the red flag bent and broken. This time, he saw faint tire tracks. It wasn't just kids. This was deliberate. Over the next 4 years, that mailbox was destroyed 6 times. 6 times my dad would have to drive into town for a new one, spend his Saturday digging and setting it in concrete, only for it to be annihilated again a few months later. Each time, the calling card was the same, the distinct tracks of a black SUV. He reported it to the police every single time, but out on those country roads, there was nothing they could do. No witnesses, no cameras. Just a splintered mailbox and a father's growing, simmering frustration. Then came the 7th time. I was visiting them that weekend, and I saw the look on my dad's face as he stood over the wreckage. The wooden post was snapped clean in half. The metal box was mangled beyond recognition. It was pure, senseless destruction. The anger was there, but it was different this time. It was cold. It was quiet. It was the look of a man who had finally, truly had enough. That's it, was all he said. The problem was the landscape. The shoulder of the road on the mailbox side was narrow, and immediately after it, the land dropped off into a steep, tree-filled incline. That's what made the mailbox such an easy target. You could just swerve onto the shoulder, hit it, and swerve back onto the road. My dad stood there for a long time, just looking at the road, the shoulder, and the steep drop. I could practically see the gears turning in his head. That a week later, a small construction crew showed up. They spent the day building a small, unassuming gravel pad, extending the level ground back about 3 feet from the shoulder. And on that new pad, my dad installed the 8th mailbox. It looked perfectly normal, maybe even safer, set back a little from the road. He finished the job, stepped back, and looked at his work. He turned to me with a look I'd never seen before. A strange mix of grim satisfaction and something else, something darker. If someone tries to knock it down now, he said, his voice low and steady, they're going to regret it. For months went by. The new mailbox stood untouched. We started to think maybe the vandal had finally given up, moved on. We were wrong. In the dead of night, a sound ripped through the quiet lake house. Not the familiar thud of wood snapping, but a horrifying, screeching crash of metal on metal, followed by the sound of a tree giving way. And why parents called the police, and we grabbed flashlights, our hearts pounding as we ran outside. The beam of my dad's flashlight cut through the darkness, and there it was. The black SUV. It wasn't on the road. It wasn't on the shoulder. It was 20 feet down the steep incline, crumpled like a tin can against a massive oak tree. The trap had worked exactly as my dad had designed it. By moving the mailbox back just 3 feet, he had created a deadly optical illusion. To the driver, it still looked like an easy target on the shoulder. But in reality, to hit it now, you had to leave the road completely. The vandal had swerved, expecting to clip the box and drive away. But his right side tires left the safety of the pavement and hit the soft dirt just before the gravel pad began. The SUV was instantly pulled down the steep incline, straight into the tree. The driver was badly injured but alive. When the police searched his vehicle, they found drugs. He was charged with a DUI and possession. The anonymous phantom who had been terrorizing my parents for years was finally unmasked. That I know my dad felt bad about the guy's injuries. He's not the kind of person who wants to intentionally hurt anyone. He just wanted to damage a vehicle, to teach a lesson, to make the chaos stop. But his perfectly engineered solution had consequences far beyond what he ever imagined. It leaves you with a heavy question. Was this a brilliant act of passive revenge? A man simply moving his property on his own land? Or was it a reckless trap that went too far? Let me know where you stand in the comments.